You've been told to watch the ball thousands of times by your coach, your friends, and even by yourself. But let's be honest, it's never actually fixed the problem, has it? That's because the problem isn't what you know or being able to remember, it's what your body has been trained to do. And until you retrain it, all of those watch the ball reminders are just noise. In my last video, I showed you that even really experienced players aren't actually tracking the ball all the way into contact. But today, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that step by step. First things first, we need to talk about how not to change this habit or any other habit in your tennis game. This is critically important. I just had a conversation with this student who you saw in my previous video and also in the intro here, and I revealed to him on the iPad, look, you're shanking, mishitting all these easy forehand volleys because you're just simply not tracking the ball into your racket. Your face is in a completely different location. We talked about it, and then I said, please step aside and let me show you and demonstrate how this is supposed to look. And I'm going to pat myself on the back here because I'm left-handed, but I do a pretty decent job demonstrating here, turning my face this way while my racket goes this way and the ball goes that way. And I'm exaggerating it here because I want him to exaggerate it, keeping his eyes on the point of contact so that he can start to train this good habit of tracking the ball and starting to be more accurate and precise with his quality of contact. Then I step out and say, okay, your turn. Come on in and demonstrate this exact same movement that I just showed you, please. And the very first time that he received a feed after my demonstration, he repeats the exact same habit that he always does. No, not even close. Your face did not turn all the way. Nope. No problem. Yeah, good. Come here. It's weird, huh? Does this sound familiar to you? Leave me a comment down below if you can relate to taking a tennis lesson, your coach saying, hey, you're doing A, B, or C. Then your coach demonstrating, look, it's supposed to look like this. And then feeding you more balls and saying, okay, your turn. And the coach is like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Or maybe you do it correctly a few times, but then when you come back again in a week, you've gone right back to your old habit. That's normal because your habits are deeply ingrained. And I want you to watch how I give my student feedback and I allow him to continue to try. I kind of pause the ball machine, tell him what's happening. And basically, he just continues to do his old habit. And that's because we need to break things down into bite-sized chunks. That's the only way habits change. Now, I do want to give my student credit. After several tries, he starts getting closer. You can start to see evidence here of his eyes starting to kind of shift over to the side and start to see a little bit out of the corner of his eye. He's not quite tracking it exactly the way I showed him, but at least it's getting closer. But we didn't really make a breakthrough until we did the step-by-step drills that I'm about to show you. All right, here's drill 1 in your training plan. I promise this will work for you just like it did for this student that we're about to study. By the way, he has a different outfit on because we did 2 days of coaching together. We got to the watching the ball or quality contact on volleys just at the end of day 1. Now this is the beginning of day 2. That's why he has a different outfit on. And now here's the training environment. I am underhand tossing the ball from just on the other side of the net from him. You can see the net right here. So he's like 3 steps away from the net. I'm like 3 steps away from the net on the other side. This is critical. This is crucial. The reason why we're starting with this is because with an underhand toss, you can see how slow this ball is moving and how much arc there is on the ball. It's dramatically easier. This is out of the gate, first try on morning of day number 2 of coaching together. We worked on all kinds of other stuff on day number 1, and this is the first try with a very slow ball. The practice he was doing before was with a ball machine feed, probably moving like 40, 50 miles an hour or something. Not super fast, but not super slow either. And that adds a lot of challenge if your eyes haven't been trained and your face hasn't been trained to track the ball into the point of contact on a ground stroke or on a volley. It's happening too fast, and you need to lessen the load for your brain and your body to break out of the rut that you've been in. Now, there's 2 parts to this. Number 1 is to physically track the ball in by turning your face and looking down your arm, which we talked about in the previous video. But here's part number 2. This is the hardest part, is leaving your face here for a count of 2. That was my instruction to this student, and he did a great job of tracking the ball in, but watch how he's going to hit the ball, and now watch his face go with the ball. This, I'm telling you, this is the hardest part. This little fuzzy thing, our brain badly wants to know, where is the ball going? Am I going to hit my target? Is it going to stay inside the court? Is my opponent going to get to it? What are they going to do with it? Just down the list, blah, 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 blah. Our brains are built for stories, and we want to know what is the ending of this story, of this shot. And it will take all of your concentration. And this is why nobody actually has ever developed this habit, because this takes time and discipline and repetition to practice hitting the ball and not immediately going with it. Even just tracking it into the racket is unbelievably hard, but leaving your face there, like what Roger does or like Alcaraz does, is unbelievably hard. So I gave him that feedback, and these are still just slow underhand tosses. Watch the next one. This is the first time in this player's life, if I remember correctly, he's going to track it in, amazing quality contact, and then leave his face there. And how satisfying is that? I mean, if you've been watching highlight reels and slow motion compilations of your favorite players forever, A, you understand immediately how high quality this is. And B, hopefully you can start to get a sense of the weight, the gravity of this, how difficult this is to actually execute. Let's watch through a few more. Excellent job leaving the eyes there, tracking in and leaving there. Tracking in and leaving there. This is drill number 1, and I'm telling you, this is going to be very difficult out of the gate. If you don't have a partner to give you these soft underhand tosses, you can use any ball machine, dial the speed literally all the way down to the minimum, and you're probably going to want to set the height probably to about the maximum, so it roughly approximates just like a real easy, soft, slow underhand toss. This is drill number 1. All right, in drill number 2, we have made it more challenging, so we're progressing here to slowly start to make it a little bit more realistic. I have backed up my position, and I'm back in no man's land now with a racket, and I'm feeding the ball off my racket. So there's more distance the ball is traveling. That makes it more difficult to precisely track the ball. And the ball, because there's that greater distance, I have to hit it with more speed in order to make it all the way to the racket of my student. Both of those things add challenge. They add difficulty in precisely tracking the ball all the way in, leaving the face there. It adds more difficulty and challenge in terms of the curiosity factor of wanting to track where the ball is going. And in particular, if you're wanting to angle cross court, a lot of these shots my student was hitting, the ball was going this way. It's not even that the ball was going over the net, but he was, a lot of these shots, angling the ball off to the side of the court. And that adds an extra degree of difficulty in just keeping your face looking this way while the ball goes that way. Listen, this is very simple on paper and is very difficult in reality, which is why we're taking these little baby steps and adding stepping stones in between easiest possible execution and a real life kind of shot. The third stepping stone is going back to the ball machine feeds, the exact same feed, the exact same speed, the exact same distance. These are the ones that he was failing on repetitively over and over and over again. No capacity to do it correctly. I'm so proud of this student. Watch him track this ball into contact, leave the face there. Again, unbelievably satisfying to see this pattern of movements and concentration. I'll go ahead and play through some of these in full speed, and you'll see that they're not all that same quality. They're all directionally moving in the right direction, and now it's a matter of repetition, using these stepping stones, using these progressions. If you get overwhelmed when you go back to a more real life feed from the ball machine or either in a rally, then you want to go back down to the softer, slower, closer feeds, build up your precision and build up your quality of repetition. And this is how you rewrite your old habit. Habits don't get erased just because you would like them to, or just because you watched a video once, or just because you read a book once. That doesn't replace all the neurological pathways. That takes exposure and time and repetition doing the new right thing. And that's why these stepping stones are necessary to build the experience, to build the repetition, to build the neurological pathways. And so it doesn't matter whether you're trying to change your grip on your serve and completely, overhaul your swing motion, or you're just trying to watch the ball. All of these changes are hard because changing habit is difficult. So treat it with respect, approach it with a lot of discipline, and you can improve any part of your game. Hopefully this lesson was super helpful. Thanks for watching today. Let me know how you're doing with your game in the comments down below. Keep up the great work. I'll talk to you again soon.